The post-millennial UK Parliament sends letters to social media platforms demanding demonetization of Russell Brand. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. So what do we got going on here? Well, this is an update about Russell Brand. You may have seen my video that I put out last week on the subject matter of Russell Brand forcing intimacy on to women that he knew in his past. And, this news came out that the UK government was targeting Russell Brand. It came out the day that I posted that video, earlier that day, and I had not seen it until the video was already posted. And I was like, oh, well, there you go. I mean, this happened really quick, and I kind of thought that it would happen really quick, that we would get more information on this really fast, especially if it wasn't true, that there's something would come out quick to exonerate him, at least to some degree, exonerate Russell Brand. Now, you can still watch that video because it's a critical analysis of the accounts of the victims. So the supposed victims, they're called victims. They're not actually. We don't know if they're actually victims or not. But the people who come forward and accused him, his accusers, and they just don't add up. They don't make sense. There's a lot of information left out, a lot of details left out. And it's like, I don't think you would tell the story this way. You would be more explicit and more straightforward, I would think. But I don't know. I mean, fortunately, I have not gone through this, and I don't want anybody else to go through this sort of thing. So maybe you have gone through this, and my heart goes out to you if you have. But you could leave a comment down below telling me, yeah, I forgot a lot of details about my situation. I can't say the A words. And I know that people are victims of this. They do tend to forget a lot of stuff. They want to block it out. And so there's a tendency of forgetting all that stuff. But I do want to say before we dive in, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. And you can find me over on Twitter and on Rumble. And, one of the things we're doing here is we're talking about Rumble. One thing I would say about Twitter is that Elon Musk, I think, came forward and said he's not going to ban Russell Brand or demonetize him or whatever. And, that kind of makes sense that you would not ban a person on Twitter for committing a crime. Why? Well, how many people are on Twitter? I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe you have the numbers a billion people on Twitter worldwide. I don't know. But let's say that there is a billion people. How many of those people have committed crimes? How many of those people have done something immoral? Then there's always those people out there who say, like, no, there's no such thing as objective morality. It's all subjective. So then Elon Musk has subjective morality. How many of those people have done something that he would find disagreeable in that case? And he has kept Alex Jones off the platform, as I understand. Maybe he's allowed him to come back on now, but he was like, hey, I got kids. What you said about Sandy Hook was BS. So I disagree with that. I mean, I think that Alex Jones is allowed to have his opinion and question things, but I don't run Twitter. Let's get into this article. The UK Parliament has sent letters to TikTok and Rumble expressing concerns that comedian Russell Brand could be profiting off the platforms. I am writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context as a user of TikTok with more than 2.2 million followers on the platform, the letter began. The following day after TikTok was sent the letter, Rumble received a similar letter from UK Parliament noting Brand's 1.4 million followers on the platform and asking whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. Yeah, why are you so interested in whether or not Russell Brand is earning money? Like I said in my other Russell Brand video, even if you stop him from making another dime his entire life, he has enough money that he could survive in England for the rest of his life. Right? How much does it take to live an average lifestyle in England? And he could move to a less expensive country and then even live longer. Right? So he doesn't need the money. So you stopping him from making money is not going to stop his voice. You're trying to deflate his status and then take him down from there. Because if you just chop his head off, you're going to make a martyr out of him. You can't do that. You gotta chip away at his foundation so that he doesn't get that support as you tear him down. This is just another attempt at canceling somebody who didn't do anything wrong because you don't like his opinions. You don't like the questions he's asking. We have Mario Nawfal here, and he is UK government aims to cancel Russell Brand. The British government sent a letter to TikTok and Rumble asking if Brand is able to make profit from his content on the platform. This implies that they are directly targeting Brand and attempting to fully deplatform him. Yeah, and here's the letter, and he kind of circled apart here, but the letter is laid out here in the article. The culture, right here, this is the letter right here, I'm reading it. The culture, media, and sport. Put a comment here, please, so I understand what you're talking about. I cannot read this. Put a comment after media if this is supposed to be two different things. I don't know what they're saying here. The culture, media, and sport. I don't understand. Is this supposed to be the culture and media and sport, or is this supposed to be the culture, media, and sport? I'm not English, right? I have a lot of English ancestry, but I've never been to England. is raising questions with the broadcasters who previously employed Mr. Brand or production companies who employed him to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether that culture still prevails today. The MP wrote. The MP noted that while Brand no longer appears on television, he has amassed a following on various social media platforms, including on TikTok, where this weekend he republished his preemptive response to the accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches. While we recognize that TikTok is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, and his content may be within the community guidelines set out by the platform, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from this content on the platform. The MP requested that TikTok confirmed whether Brand is able to monetize his content on the platform and tell what the platform is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate or potentially illegal behavior. You see, but the problem is, you would say that I'm undermining victims of inappropriate or potentially illegal behavior. You would say that the things that I say are harming the users of your platform when I say, you know what, white privilege isn't real. You know what, non-whites are not being held down in the United States, are not being held back in the United States, are not being disadvantaged in the United States. You know what, women are not being disadvantaged. In fact, we know for sure that they're not, because there's more women college students, more women college grads. Women are out earning men now as long as they don't have children. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're just full of it. And we're going to get into this more in a little bit here. That's basically what the letter says. This is Rumble's response. Today we received an extremely disturbing letter from the committee chair of the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, rape, and all serious crimes, and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that recent allegations against Russell Brand have nothing to do with content on Rumble's platform exactly. You're going to go around accusing everybody, every criminal, and deplatforming every single criminal, then there's not going to be anybody left to talk. And that's not true. I mean, there's going to be still a lot of people left to talk. And I do not want to see people who do this to women or children or men, even, and people who do this thing that Russell was accused of. I don't want to see them having a platform. I don't. But we don't know if Russell actually did this or not. And it seems really suspect that he is just like, yeah, look, man, he probably didn't do it at this point. We're going, yeah, he might have been a jerk to some people. I mean, most people are jerks at some point in their lives. It happens. People act on emotion, respond poorly. They make mistakes when we're communicating or dealing with others. It happens all the time. Most people don't want to make people feel bad or hurt people, and you can make somebody feel bad without trying to make them feel bad. Here's an example. Girl walked by me looking unhappy in the gym, and I was like, hey, don't look so happy. And she got really mad about that. Okay? It was just an off-the-cuff comment that I made to some girl just because. And, well, she didn't like it. Do I deserve to be canceled because I made some off-the-cuff comment that somebody didn't like, one person didn't like? And believe me, she came back and said a whole bunch of stuff to me that I didn't like and was much more inappropriate to me than I was to her. I was trying to make a fun, lighthearted comment and hopefully break her out of a bad mood. That's not how she came back at me, though. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for very different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for actions that have nothing to do with our platform. Exactly. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. Good on you, Rumble. And you can find me on Rumble. There's a link in the description to my Rumble. You go there, follow me there. Follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. And this is the sort of thing. It's like, yeah, you want to pick sides, and they might not even know the situation. You pick sides on this. Why? What are you talking about? Why would I pick? I don't know. I don't know what happened. So how could I pick sides on this? This is ridiculous. Here's the letter that was sent to Rumble by the same MP that sent it to TikTok. And now I'm not going to reread this here because this is just the letter that I just read. So Dr. Jordan Peterson said, this is not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, and that's pretty much the end of this. Now, the reason I bring this up and I want to talk about this is to follow up on this Russell Brand situation. The woke trying to cancel him. Why are the woke trying to cancel him? Why is the government trying to cancel him? Well, it's because they don't like what he has to say. I've watched his channel a few times on YouTube. I'm not a fan of Russell Brand. I thought he was kind of a flamboyant goof when he was making movies in the United States back 10, 15 years ago. It's like, okay, who's this English dude and what's his issue? He's clearly very, very silly. And then he married Katy Perry. Don't know what was going on there. None of my business, really, right? I'm not involved with Katy Perry. I'm not involved with Russell Brand. So what can I say about that? Not really any of my business. I thought that she could probably find somebody better, but I mean, I don't know him. And now that I've listened to him talk and say things that I'm like, oh yeah, he has some valuable points that he's making. He has a lot of interesting things to say, a lot of interesting insights to bring up. I don't follow the guy. I'm not subscribed to his channel, but his information is out there. You can find him and hear what he has to say. And he does bring up a lot of really interesting points and stuff. The reason I want to talk about this is because we are losing faith in the mainstream media. This is why right here. And why is it that we're not allowed to listen to a guy who has a sincere opinion and asks interesting and valuable questions that we all should be asking and thinking about, but we are allowed to listen to CNN and their pack of lies, and we're supposed to swallow that garbage. We're supposed to listen to The View and listen to their pack of lies and swallow that garbage. We're supposed to listen to John Oliver and his pack of lies and swallow that garbage. And I can prove to you right now, like, okay, so if you haven't watched my John Oliver video, go watch it. It's hilarious, the comments that I received on that video. The people who left comments on the video were all lefty woke tards, and they're oblivious to the truth. That's the problem with the woke. That's why I'm against this wokeism. This is why I'm the anti-woke warrior, because the woke does not care about the truth. They only care about their opinion, their agenda, their beliefs. They're sitting there telling me in the comments, you're stupid. John Oliver says that CRT is not being taught in our schools, therefore it's not being taught in our schools. What's wrong with you, idiot? You didn't bring up any good points. Well, here's one.
You have beautiful, amazing bronze skin because you're one of Earth's original people, right? Hold on, Mason. Because if you jumped in front of him right now when I was telling him to be proud to be black, that'd be like the first lesson in white privilege he learns, and we don't want to oppress people right now. You got me?
Now, at the beginning of this video, they said this is what people think CRT is when it's being taught in schools. And at the end here, he said, that's an ally. Boom. And he gave a fist bump to the kid. But I'm sorry, this has absolutely nothing to do with race. The white child was trying to interrupt the black child. I don't think it was because it was race motivated. I think he's just a little kid and doesn't know any better. Just because you interrupt somebody, it has nothing to do with race. You might want to interrupt somebody because you're a racist bastard and be like, I don't like that person because they're whatever race. I'm going to try to interrupt them. That could happen. And you know who I see being more rude in this arena in my day-to-day life? It's not the whites. I don't know what to tell you. The people who want to interrupt more often are not white in my experience. Sorry, that's just how it is. So here's another example. Here's more evidence that I'm bringing to the table that CRT is being taught in schools. And it has no business being in anywhere, especially in public schools that my tax dollars are paying for. But we have this right here. Look at this. This is the Knight Foundation. Americans are losing faith in an objective media. A new Gallup/Knight study explores why. You don't need to explore. I can tell you right now. I've not read this article. I can tell you exactly right now. I don't know what the article says. It might completely disagree with me. But this is why it's happening, because the mainstream media, the so-called objective media, they say, or objective media, is not objective. It's very much based on emotion, very much based on opinion, instead of being based on facts. Fact is, CRT is being taught in school. John Oliver says different. John Oliver's wrong, because it's a fact that it is being taught in schools. I don't know what to tell you about that. It's a fact. It's like saying the sky is blue. The sky is blue on many days out of the year when the sun is shining. The sky is blue. We can pretty much all agree on that. But, oh no, about half of us can't admit that CRT is being taught in public schools in this country. What do you know? And this could be very well why my channel is not doing that well. People have come to me and said, hey, you're being shadow banned. The things you say, you're being shadow banned. There's no question. Like, yeah, probably. Probably I'm being shadow banned. I don't think that I've been canceled outright is because I'm a small channel, and I'm actually not even a right-winger. I have points of view that are very much considered left-wing points of view. I don't generally talk about them on my channel. In addition to this Knight Foundation thing here, we have this right here from the Liberal Patriot. Americans have the lowest trust in news in the world. What do you know? Out of the entire world. This is from February of 2023. This Knights Foundation one is actually from 2020, just over 3 years ago, because August of 2020. So yeah, they were saying this 3 years ago, and now they're saying we have the lowest out of any country. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. It's such a mystery to me. The mainstream media lies persistently, especially the liberal mainstream media, lying constantly about things. And then Americans are going, wait a second, that's not true. Wait a second, that's not true. Wait a second. I can't trust these guys. I'm going to listen to them. Trust but verify? No, not even going to trust but verify. I'm just going to listen to them and be like, okay, maybe that's true. I'll go see it for myself if it's important enough. And a lot of this stuff that we're seeing on these so-called news channels now is obviously just opinion. It's just like, they bring up a current event and they talk about it and they say, oh, my opinion is this. Well, my opinion is that. And that's okay. I have no problem with you doing that, but make sure that it's not on a news channel. I mean, that might be the thing to do. I don't know. So people like opinion pieces, and opinion pieces have always been included in the news. I don't know. Maybe that's why that's there. But whatever. Just wanted to point out there's an update to this, and it's obviously been shown to be a conspiracy theory against Russell Brand. And there's probably conspiracy theories out there against a lot of us, trying to make it on these social platforms. We're being cut down by the powers that be. The mainstream media is against us. Now, I did also want to point out this right here about Dave Portnoy. So Dave Portnoy, he has this right here. It's surreal we live in a country where activist reporters can openly get caught lying and admitting they are creating a false narrative to generate engagement and controversy and still publish the article. So yeah, the Washington Post said some stuff about Dave Portnoy, and he confronted them on it. It's crazy. He confronted them on it and said, yeah, you're going to write this hit piece on me. And they're like, no, we're not. We're not going to write a hit piece on you. And then he read their email to him. Here, let's watch. And then we'll get into the palate cleanser immediately after this. So,
this is Emily.
Hey, Emily, this is Dave Portnoy calling. I'm recording you right now, but I've noticed a bunch of people. It seems like you're sending. We have this Pizza Fest happening on Saturday, and you're reaching out to our advertisers, and you're basically sending an email that says to the effect, "Dave's a misogynist, racist. Do you want to defend yourselves advertising at this event?" Right?
I'm sorry, what's your name, Dave? I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the guy you're writing the article about, Dave Portnoy.
Oh, you're Dave Portnoy. Oh, hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. No, I'm not. I haven't said anything like that.
I can read if you want. If you want, I can read what you actually sent. I have it.
Yeah, read, because I sent a bunch of notes, so I want to make sure I know which one.
Okay. We are planning to write about the festival and how some of the sponsors and participants have drawn criticism by seemingly to associate themselves with Dave Portnoy, who has a history of misogynist comments and other problematic behavior. I want to make sure that Blank had a chance to respond to this, since the company is the most prominent of their partners of his festival.
Oh, that's the one I sent to, which was definitely the most pointed of them, because I really did want them to respond, and I was hoping to get something from them.
Do you think that's fair? Like, I totally disagree with the assertions of what you said, that misogynist and all that stuff. So, like, it kind of backs people into a corner. So I'm happy to go over anything. I mean, that is pretty pointed. You said you didn't do it. Then I have the exact evidence of you doing it. So
no, I didn't say I didn't do that. I said I did. That was the one that was the most pointed.
Well, no, that went before I provided proof. You said you didn't really remember doing that, and then I read it to you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I did it that one time." So you did do it. I'm happy to talk about the comments because.